Who's next? Let's do Pindies, bro. I actually want to talk about Pindies.
I'm
I
I'm
like their
so down
team.
to vote Pindiz. I'm so down to vote Pindiz.
Okay. Pindiya,
Okay, bro.
Pindiya,
So for the
Pindiya,
Pindiz,
Pindiya,
looking at their
Shara,
squad, I
Pindiya.
would say the only thing that I think they messed up is their name.
Dude, honestly, like when they first made it, I was like, bro, what the hell is this? Like, why is it Pindies? Why is it one name? And then they changed it to Ravel Pindies. But I don't know. It's like it's kind of interesting. It's
They
like
could
on the
have gone
face of it, it seems.
Rawalpindi Boys or something, though, right?
Yeah, they could have done something like that. But they're being
Like, what is a
different.
Pindi? What does that mean?
It it does mean
Like, do
it.
they mean Pindi Boy? Like, I wasn't quite sure what that meant. But
I don't
Hux, I
know.
will say, I think I'm looking through the teams right now. I think this is the best team on paper.
I want to chat through it because I think I had one or two reservations, but barring those reservations, I think this is definitely like up there. I think
Yeah.
they're reliant on a couple of factors which I want to chat through, but I think they've picked really good squad, and
Yeah.
I think they've had a couple of injuries and withdrawals which have sort of impacted their team. तो इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. So I mean we can start with that, but Zaman Khan is injured.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, Zaman Khan is ruled out of the PSL.
Oh, that's right. He had his. That's facts.
Yeah,
That's
and
facts.
Jake Fraser McGurk has withdrawn as well. So like they've
I don't know
two
if
guys.
he's gonna play anyways, though.
He was gonna play. He was in my team. He was at number three. Yeah,
Yeah,
originally, but chalo, they have. I think two. Those are two guys who would have been in the 11 for me. So
you're right.
I think
Okay, no, that
that's
is a
a it's a
big.
blow.
I forgot
But
that.
yeah, but I think the one thing I want to start with for them, well, I guess there's two main areas of strength that start off with, or two main areas of strength that stand out for Pindies. I think one is the fast bowlers. Seeing Amr and Naseem Shah playing together is like fantastic. I think like
Yeah.
that's a great acquisition, and they would have supplemented that with Zaman Khan. That might have been like one of the best fast bowling attacks in the PSL, but unfortunately Zaman is injured, so he's not going to be able to play this year. But again, I think maybe we'll get to see that in the future. But for this season, I think like Amr and Naseem Shah, I think opening the bowling, that's probably like the best opening bowling combination that you can see at the PSL level. It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
At any level. Like I mean, I know like Naseem Shah at T20, like he hasn't gotten much opportunity. He didn't play in the T20 World Cup, um, but yeah, it's just one of those situations where I think it'll be really good to see them both play together in the PSL. And then the other strength, I think, is their foreign contingent. Like, yes, Jake Fraser McGurk has pulled out, but Sam Billings and Dal Mitchell alone are excellent. They have Rashad Hussain, who's part of Lahore Qalandars before, gives them a leg spinning all rounder option. And Dan Forrester, who we don't know much about, but he's an all rounder who can bowl like medium pace as well. So if you tick that box as well, I think that's a pretty solid foreign contingent, for me at least.
No, it looks like a good team. They have quite a few foreign players. A lot of whom we haven't seen, but they all seem like pretty solid players. I'm picking out
Gone, wait,
Kian.
when you say we haven't seen, are you talking about like Forrester? Because उसके अलावा तो सब खेले हुए हैं नहीं.
Laurie Evans and stuff like we
Laurie
haven't.
Evans, hasn't he come for PSL? I don't think he'll
He
play.
has, I'm
So
sure. He
yeah,
has.
yeah,
But if I'm gonna sit here and say that, like, I
yeah. I
remember
remember.
exactly,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, for
I
sure.
would lie. This Forrester guy seems like he's a batting all rounder,
He's a batting
right?
all
It
rounder.
seems
Yeah, he's a
like
middle order bat. He bowls like medium pace as well. I think he's a good option.
he is a very good option. I don't know if I had him in my team, and I don't know if I overlooked him or why I didn't have him in my team. No, I had yeah, I had him in my team, so he
Yeah.
is there.
So, I mean,
Um,
you want to start with the top order then? Let's start from the top. Obviously, Rizwan is their captain, and Rizwan and Yasir Khan are there, which, like, Pindies was formerly Multan
Sultan
Sultans,
Sultan.
and then they became Pindies, and then Sialkot
Yeah,
Stallions became Multan Sultans. So they've essentially retained what was the original opening combination for Multan Sultans, which is Rizwan and Yasir Khan. It's interesting because Multan have also done very well with these two, but then they've also done very badly with these two because
they did
in the
bad once,
past,
bro.
what?
They
They
did
did
bad
bad
once.
once, but they won one game the entire season. They were like, it wasn't just bad, like they were
Yeah,
awful
yeah,
last season. So,
that's
but I
true.
think overall, like it depends on like how. I think Yasir Khan pretty much gives you like what you know what he is. He's like a consistent
Yeah.
like PSL level talent. I don't know if he qualifies as emerging anymore. Because
I don't
he's
think he does.
24, which is why I put Abdullah Fazil at number three for them because he's an
Yeah, okay,
emerging
so let's
guy.
talk about this. Let's talk about
Yeah.
this actually, bro. Because they're actually blessed in a sense that two of the better T20 batting prospects right now
Hmm.
are in their team.
Yeah.
So, like 2 weeks ago, if you looked at the roster, you might have said Shahzaid Khan comes in, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Um, but Abdullah Fazal, and he's done well in the National T20 too, but
Yeah.
Abdullah Fazal is going nuts in the National
Hmm.
T20.
Yeah.
So you would have to assume that he would be the one to start.
Exactly.
Now, the only thing I'm thinking about is the fact that we'll get to it later, but
Hmm.
since Zaman goes out, you probably have an emerging guy replacing him in Fawad, right? So
Well, for
what
Fawad
happens
Ali,
to
I
the
don't know if
squad?
he's fit enough. I think he might have some question marks in
Yeah,
terms of fitness, so I wasn't sure if he'll be able to play. So let's just talk through the batting first, and we'll get to the
yeah,
bowling. But like, yeah, you're right in terms of like, so Rizwan obviously picks himself at the top of the order. I think given Yasir Khan has PSL experience, he plays with him, um, and they have like obviously a partnership going there from Multan Sultans, and then they also have two emerging guys in Shahzeb Khan and Abdullah Fazil who are promising and have done really well. I picked Abdullah Fazil based on his recent form at number
yeah,
three, but the good part is that you can look at it both ways. So one, you have like options. You have three like talented young Pakistani options in the top three who have not played for Pakistan. The downside of that is that they're unproven. Are they going to be able to like compete with some of the batting talent that the other teams have, particularly with Mohammad Rizwan not being in form? I think they will need Mohammad Rizwan to be in form, but I think the 11 that they've picked or like the squad that they've picked sort of allows Rizwan to play his natural game, and I think these
yeah.
guys can bat around him
As it
and play
always does,
aggressive.
right? You know, they're good with building their batting lineup around him always,
Yeah,
right?
correct. Yeah, so I think in that sense, like obviously Rizwan's going to need to deliver because he's going to
I
need to
think
step
Yasir Khan
up.
is proven enough though, Shay. Like maybe
What?
not.
Yasir
You're
Khan is
not
proven.
wrong,
Yes, correct. Yeah, you're right.
but
I
I
think
think he's been there long enough to,
maybe
you
proven was
know,
the wrong word. Maybe it was like he is not up there in terms of like the Saim Ayub, Mas Sadakat,
yeah, yeah, for
or
sure.
like so, yeah, you know some of the other talent that the other teams have in terms of their top order. So like Mohammad Haris, Babar Azam, like other teams have. Like he's not that
Yeah,
level, but he's still like a good PSL level batsman. The thing the point I was trying to make there was that if these young guys don't fire, they don't necessarily have like a foreign top order player to come in or like a reliable top order player. But on one hand, it's good because they do have options here and they'll probably back them. So I think for these young guys, it's awesome. They do have
true.
Kamran Ghulam on the bench, so they do have like
I think he's
a
coming up and I'm
low.
Kamiji slipping into the middle
Yeah,
or something like
exactly.
that,
So you
right?
do have some options there, which is good. I think they've built a really nice squad, like in terms of balance overall.
Yeah.
And then I think their middle order is fantastic. Like they have Sam Billings and Daryl Mitchell. Could have been even stronger if Jake Fraser McGurk was there, but I think Sam Billings and Daryl Mitchell are like as good as it gets
But
in
they're
terms
both
of
better than
PSL
him though,
level.
bro,
What?
right? They're
Yeah, they're
both
both better.
better than
Yeah,
him
for sure,
at the
100%,
end of the day,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Um, I
And then
guess it
I
would be
think,
Dion Forrester that he would be coming in for, but then would you give that all around thing up for him?
yeah,
We'd have to see,
correct.
right?
So again, Forrester like unproven at the PSL level, but he has good performances in SA T20. He can bowl as well, so I think a good option. And I think
A
Rashad
genuine
Hussain.
bad bro. Maybe the guy averages a 45 in first
Yeah,
class
yeah,
cricket, bro. Like
excellent.
53 in the cricket. He's a solid player.
Hmm.
In South Africa, the domestic system is no joke either.
Yeah,
Like this
for
guy
sure.
seems to be a player.
Who did you have at seven?
For me, it was a toss-up, bro, between Ahmad Butt and Asif Afridi.
Okay, interesting. So I did a little bit differently. I had Rashad Hussain at seven only because I think he is guaranteed to play. And then
Yeah,
the Pakistani all-rounders, so Asif Afridi, Saad Masood, and Ahmad Butt would sort of fight over that other spot. The reason I didn't go Ahmad Butt was because Deon Forrester bowls medium pace. So I don't know if I needed another pacer considering we already have Naseem and Amir, and I've actually
true,
picked a third genuine pacer as well.
true.
So I don't think Ahmad Butt ki jagah banti hai in terms of that, but I think they need a spin bowling all rounder more. Rashad Hussain is a leg spinner, so based on that, I picked Asif Afridi, but I'd obviously like to see Saad Masood in the 11 given he's a young emerging
Bro, Saad must be
Pakistani
this
player.
team anymore, bro.
What?
He's not on this team.
He is. They traded
He's in
him for they traded him.
That
from
they
Multan. He's not in
actually
Multan anymore. They got him. Yeah, they just made the trade.
like today,
Not today, like a few days ago. If you
bro.
look at
Because
the
I'm looking at this document that has maybe this is from yesterday because it has all the trades, but it doesn't have this. So
if you
that's
look at the
interesting.
PSL squads like that they posted, like he's in Pindies. ये भी मैं तेरे दिखा देता हूँ एक second.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, maybe the document I'm looking at. This says it was updated 7 hours ago, though. I don't know.
Bro, these guys don't talk. You update everything.
Actually, no, I trust you. Like, then it's easy for me. I just play Saad Masood then, bro. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Let me show you here. Yeah, look. They posted it even. Pindies.
damn, okay.
Yeah.
Who did they trade him for?
Did not no one. Like they just took him. Like Multan didn't want him for money.
Then it's easy. He's in the team.
But he's the leg spinner and Rashad Hussain is also leg spinner and plays similar role. No? Play two leg
Who
spinners.
cares, bro?
Okay.
He's he's a good
Okay.
batter. I think Saad Masood, the thing with him, from what I've seen, he's a talented player.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him in the emerging cup. I think his batting is ahead of his bowling at this point in his career. He
Okay.
was a he was an off-spin bowler until like 2 years ago, bro. And
Okay.
now
Interesting. I didn't know
Mushtaq
that.
Ahmed made him a leg spinner in the nets randomly. He was an off spinner otherwise.
Okay.
But now he's a leg spinning order. I think his batting is ahead of his bowling. So, and I would bat him ahead of Rashad as well. He batted pretty well in the emerging T20
Mm-hmm.
Asia Cup, and for Pakistan he played a pretty solid
Yeah.
knock-on debut.
Yeah, the one thing
So
that this
that's a pretty
squad
easy play
lacks,
for
and
him.
that's what the reason I was like not sure about Saad Masood is they don't have any finger spinners in the entire 11, let alone the squad. And that's why I was thinking Asif Afridi, you can left arm spin de sakta and is another option because you
Yeah,
already have Rashad and another. Like you look at their entire top order, even Dal Mitchell can bowl, but he bowls medium. So they don't really have off. I think that's a glaring weakness in this team is that those matchups, they don't have an off spinner. And if Asif Afridi doesn't play, they don't even have a left arm spinner unless they play, I mean, Kamran Ghulam, which again, based on like the
or
emerging
matchups
players.
never really an option if a guy can spin the ball both ways, though.
Sorry?
Are matchups ever really an option if the guy can spin the ball both ways?
Not necessarily. That's where mystery spin becomes like a
Um,
good component to be able to have like and cover that base ultimately, and that's why like you could go with Rashad and Saad Masood. But I think
yeah,
especially like in Pakistan, like the success like left arm spinners have against Pakistani batsmen, like I always tend
yeah,
to like to play them. But like
that's
in
true.
Asif
That's
Afridi is
true.
towards the end of his career, I'd rather not have him in the team. I'd rather have Saad Masood as
Mm.
well.
Saad,
But I
I'm
think
just
that
saying from the excitement, but like I have no problem if Asif Afridi plays instead
yeah,
of Saad
for sure.
Masood, just
Yeah,
because it won't just be for the finger spin, even though that would
yeah,
be part of it, but he's,
yeah,
very experienced and
yeah.
like a smart cricketer and stuff. So yeah, one of them can play. Then Ahmad Butt ki jagah bilkul nahi banti because they already have four paces then with Forrester in the
Yeah,
team now.
yeah. There's certain players like Ahmad Butt, for example, who are very talented. They absolutely have a place in sides in PSL, but they always end up in teams that don't need them.
Yeah,
Like he's a guy who he's used to be in Islamabad. They already had like pace bowling all rounders. He didn't get too much game time. I don't know. He's someone who I feel like should have gotten more game time at the PSL level,
yeah,
but just has not. And I think
you're
this is
right.
again going to be like a similar situation, where he's not going to get more game time.
That's
But yeah.
true.
So yeah, I had so then I guess the question becomes whether you play Asif Afridi or Saad Masood or Ahmad Butt at number seven, and then you have Rashad at eight potentially, Naseem Shah, Mohammad Amir, and then I had because Zaman is injured, I had Mohammad Amir Khan at 11. Who did you have?
Mohammad Amir Khan is the guy we saw for Peshawar Zalmi
Zalmi,
earlier this
yeah,
year.
he played a few games for Zalmi, yeah.
I don't know where he is in his career right now. I just saw Fawad Ali more recently for I think
Yeah.
Karachi, but yeah, whoever you want to play between them two.
Yeah, I think I
Um,
went with Amir Khan because I thought Fawad Ali was injured because Heather, as I said, Karachi didn't pick him because they thought he was injured, and then Pindi picked him. So I
so
saw this. That's what
this is who is this Jalat Khan guy, bro?
he's another like a stingy bowler. So they replaced him. They replaced Zaman with him.
Okay, so now that I got really excited when I saw this team, but Zaman out of it,
Yeah,
which I
it's
was reminded of, it makes a big difference then, I think. Like,
Yeah,
because they
and
look like a
also
totally different
yeah,
team if he's in there versus if he's not.
correct.
And
Yeah.
they have no like they should have picked up some international fast bowlers on the
Yeah,
auction as
it.
well, I think.
I've gone really back and forth this team. Initially, when I saw them, I was like, I'm not sure with like the top order. Then I'm like, I came around to it, and now again, I'm questioning some of the weaknesses we're picking up in terms of like um, third fast bowler potentially. But again, I think like third fast bowler is not the end of the world because you have guys who've played PSL level before and done all right in the
Yeah,
emerging category.
that's
And you
true.
have like I think their spinner the lack of experience in terms of spin like as Asif Afridi is very experienced, but I don't classify Rashad or Saad Masood as like a genuine like guaranteed 4 overs every match type option. And so like that becomes a question mark,
That's
particularly
the concern. How many genuine players do
when
they
you
have?
don't have any other spin bowling options, right? So it's not like if they're not having a good game, you can throw the
You
ball to
can
someone
hide
else.
them.
You don't. So I think that could be like if their Pindi's like first 11 is pretty good, but if their like plan A doesn't work, I don't know if they have a plan B.
They could be in trouble.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll be
do they
interesting to see
have
how
the
they do
type
because
of bowler
they could go
that
either way.
Rizwan usually gets a lot out of, like a Iftikhar or like a Khushdil Shah type? Do they
They
have
could
one of
have.
those types
They
of bowlers?
had Kamran Ghulam.
You might see him. Because the thing for me now, bro, they have
What they could do then,
Naseem,
Arman,
Amir,
is
and
they could.
Rishad. I put these guys as genuine bowlers. But
Yeah,
after that, I don't know if they have a fourth. I'm
yeah.
obviously the emerging would be the fourth one, but like I don't know how many
I
bankers you have in the
you
bowling lineup
could
right now.
take out Yasser Khan, play one of the emerging guys opening, and get Karman Ghulam in to
You could do
round
that.
out your 11.
Because
Yeah,
then
I
that
guess
would
that's
be
an
cool,
option.
bro. You might have four emerging players in the team then.
Potentially,
If you
yeah.
do that. If you have both openers, you might have Saad Masood and you might have a pacer as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, yeah, let's see. That's okay. So that's gonna be interesting. I think I think they have a strong shot at making the playoffs though.
I think so. I think it's that only. I think they have a squad that should make the playoffs in terms of like experience. I think it's just that they have a few clear areas where like they might struggle in terms of like if plan A doesn't work, like we said, and if like
Yeah,
Rizwan doesn't fire, and those young batters at the top of the order aren't able to like support him, because like if those like so Sam Billings and Daryl Mitchell like they could bat on their own. Obviously, they're strong enough players to do that, but are they going to be able to do it like every game if they're not getting support from the top? Because if you look at it,
yeah,
their top order and their lower order are a bit questionable, but their middle order is very strong. So you'd think that they'd be
yeah.
able to get out of situations, but it'll be interesting to see whether they manage that. So
I
I think
think their
they're a
batting
team
should
that
be slow.
they're
I
like
think it should be.
similarly in bowling as well, where like you'd expect like there'd be a phase of the game where they will have players who are not very experienced having to shoulder a lot of burden, and can they
Yeah,
manage those periods? I think is a question
yeah,
for them.
that's true. That's true. But very capable team.
Yeah.
But Rizwan-led franchises have made four of the last five finals. So like
Yeah.
you never know. Like they could be there thereabouts towards the end. But
And
yeah,
a point to
good
prove for
looking
him
team.
as well. A huge point to prove.
Point of view for him as well, for sure.
Okay, who do you want to go to? Quetta?
Let's go to Quetta.
Okay. Quetta's an interesting team. They have
You know,
picked.
let's say we have all the same problems that we always like. The last time we did this
Yes.
preview for them, we said the same
Yeah.
thing. That they only bat until seven, and they only
Their
have five bowlers.
their
But
number seven is always an issue for them because they always have to
yeah,
play like a guy who's like a bowling all rounder at number seven. Even when they picked Fahim Ashraf, they kind of picked Fahim Ashraf last year to address this, and they like finally
and
last
he did.
year.
To be fair, he did address it for
He
them.
did, and they got to the final. And to be fair, like for a lot of years, Quetta, like obviously they were one of the teams that were in the early years of the PSL were probably the most consistent, the best team. Like they had a lot of really good players. Obviously, Sarfraz Ahmed led the side, and then as his career declined, it coincided with
Came
a
after
decline for
Suleiman
Quetta as
Mahdi.
well, and then they had to like refresh their side. Um, they had a couple of years where they were really like out of it, like and last year finally they were able to get back to the Quetta we know and love. And it was built a lot on like young Pakistani players supplemented with like some really really good foreign players who are now performing like finale at the T20 World Cup as well. Obviously they don't have him anymore, and so that's an area where like it'll be interesting to see how they're able to back that up because they've not spent a lot of money on their foreign players. They've picked a lot of like guys who are unproven outside of like the Big Bash. So if you look at their foreign players,
Yeah.
um, Brad Hampton.
True.
Oh, sorry. Let's start with obviously Riley Rousseau, PSL royalty. Like the question mark
Don't.
is whether
Yeah.
he is still the level of player that he was and has been throughout. But like in terms of like his PSL pedigree, there's like no doubt. If there was like a Hall of Fame for PSL, I think he'd be the first foreign player to make that list. So no
Yeah.
question mark. I think like Riley Rizzo deserves like a place in a PSL 11 until he retires, basically, just based off like the
Yeah.
service he's given.
All-time
So
PSL 11 who makes
yeah,
it, even if you're
whether
not
it's
counting him as a foreign player.
whether it's Multan,
Um,
whether it's Quetta, he's there and he'll be cemented. But uske alawa,
yeah.
their foreign players are Brett Hampton, Sam Harper, Bevan Jacobs, Ben McDermott. Like in terms of their
Yeah.
batters, tell me how much you know about these guys because
So, bro, I looked all of these guys up and
yeah,
I've
same.
made some notes on them.
I think
So yeah,
no,
yeah,
I was gonna say like they all have really good records in New
yeah,
Zealand and Australia, but none of them have played outside of it. So it's a big
that's
gamble
true.
from the Quetta Gladiators because they've it seems like they've done the classic thing of like the PSL as a league is known for players. If you look at the England national side as well, a lot of their players before they became international stars came in to the PSL and they showed their worth, likes of David Milan, the likes of Liam Livingston,
Yeah.
the likes of there's other players as well that are not coming to mind
Bruce
right now.
Jenks and
Yeah, a lot of these
Harry
guys
Brook.
exactly. Harry broke right. So before they took the next step, they performed in the PSL. They've sort of taken that sort of approach quite a here with these guys. But my
Yeah,
concern with them is Australian wickets and Pakistani wickets are very different, um, and they've never played outside. Like I think what is one or two of them that have played outside in other conditions. I think Ben McDermott is very experienced. He's played in like the CPL as well. But outside of that, none of these guys have played in Pakistani conditions. So that'll be the
yeah.
challenge
You
for
know,
them.
Mani Manto, if this was maybe not a T20 tour, right? Like, I don't expect there to be spinning, like extreme spinning conditions anywhere.
Yeah.
And if it's just a Pata wicket, anyways, then it's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's
even
fair.
easier for them.
No,
Because
I
bounces
wasn't.
on you, not
Yeah, I
it.
wasn't saying that almost as like a discounting them. I think it's more just
Yeah,
like it's also an experience thing, right? They don't have as much experience of like foreign leagues, so it's like how do you like deal with
that's
that
true.
as well in terms of because these guys have always played as local players, so how do they play when their expectation is like higher of like a foreign player? So I think will be
True.
that comes into it, but I think obviously not all of them are going to play, right? Because they also have like some pace bowling options who are foreigners. I think they've been dealt a blow because their direct signing was Spencer Johnson, who's withdrawn,
Yeah.
and they've replaced him with Alzari Joseph, who I don't rate very highly at all.
You don't like him, huh?
I don't know. I just like I don't know. He doesn't seem like a player who
Okay.
like really stands out for me. And then they have Tom Curran as well, who again another player who doesn't really stand out too much, but his BBL season was excellent.
Yeah.
So I think
His
they've picked a
form is
lot of
good.
players who've performed really well in the Big Bash League this year. So it'll be interesting to see. Like they've gone on form quite a. So it'll be interesting to see whether they're able to. I kind of like the approach. It's like a fresh, like niche approach that they've taken, almost backed on data in terms of recent performances. So interesting to see if
Yeah.
they deliver on that. So वो मेरी question mark है उन पे in terms of like their foreign contingent because they don't have the big names that other teams do.
Look, what I
Um,
will say about these, so Hampton is a fast bowling all rounder who can open.
mhm.
So if he has to open, it might be a little bit tough for him to play. I'm not sure. Harper and Ben McDermott are both wicket keepers. The guy who seems like a standout for me is the New Zealand international though.
Bevan Jacobs.
Devin Jacobs has an excellent record in T20
Yeah.
cricket. So I think if you have to lock one of them in, unless you're playing one of the other guys because they're a keeper, I think he's the guy you lock in.
I locked
Um,
in, so I assumed that Khwaja Nafe is gonna keep,
yeah.
and
How do
then
you
I
feel about
lock.
that? Though? Like I kind of went with that assumption too.
I don't mind it
Um,
because like if he wants to get into the Pakistan team and like cement his place, if he can do that as a keeper, that's excellent for Pakistan. So
do
if
you
he
think he's a
can,
good enough keeper though?
I haven't seen him enough to be able to say.
Yeah,
So
that's
I want
probably
to see
fair.
if he's able to do it. But I assume that he was keeping. If he's not keeping, then I think I'd probably have Well, yeah, I'll, actually no. Even if he's not keeping, I don't have an issue because I picked Sam Harper in my team. So
You
I
took.
went with
Why did you
Saud
take Harper?
Shakir
What was the logic behind taking Harper?
because he's the most experienced guy out of all these
Okay.
guys, and he had like his strike rate is 155. I know we don't look at averages a lot, but averaging 50 plus and a strike rate of 150, 380 runs in the Big Bash League this season. So I was like, bro, like that's too strong and too like recent because it was just a couple months ago to not pick him in this round. And plus, I was looking at a like for like replacement for Finn Allen because he partnered with Saud Shakil last season and they don't have him anymore. So I think he's the like for like replacement for me, or the closest like for like
Fair enough.
replacement for him. So and I wanted someone explosive next to Saud Shakil, so इसलिए मैंने इसको लिया. Because
That's not a bad idea.
the other two guys. Actually, you want to talk about Saud Shakil a little bit? He's captain.
I think, yeah, I think it's fine. He should be captain. They did a good job last year.
Yeah,
He didn't have a good tournament last year from the bat. He had a good tournament the year before with the bat, but he captained well and they made the
yeah,
final. So there's no
yeah.
need to change it, I don't think.
Exactly. That's why,
Um,
and I went with him a little bit because it's with Sam Harper, sorry, because he's experienced as well. So I think given Saud is going to be like the other opener, and then Shamil is likely going to be their emerging player, either Shamil or Janzeeb Sultan. Someone who just made his Pakistan debut as well. Obviously, didn't go super well for him, but again, someone who's like earned a spot based on domestic performances. Now getting his chance in the PSL as well. It'll be interesting to see how he performs. But I didn't want to put too
you
much
give
pressure on
choice
him.
and you give Harper the gloves then if he's
Sorry.
playing. Then you
Uh,
just give Harper the gloves as well,
yeah, I
no?
guess so. I guess so. Yeah, I forgot in the middle that he was a
Okay.
keeper, but yeah, I guess you're right.
Mm.
He would get it. So is that your top three as well, or you went with
No, I
Brad
actually
Hampton?
had, I wasn't sure who to put at the top, so I actually, but I'm okay with what you're doing as well. I went Saud, Nafi, Shamil in any order.
You're opening with
I wanted to
Nafe.
go, yeah, I'm
Okay,
opening with
I
Nafi.
am the opposite where I'm like Pakistan needs middle order batsmen, so I want Nafit to play in the middle order.
That's
Is
also
my
fair
thought
because
process.
I
Yeah,
was alluding to that earlier in the show.
yeah,
And if that's the only place that he can get
and
into the Pakistan
they have
team,
so many
then
other top
yeah,
order batsmen. They also have Shamil already, so I was like, play like
true.
a foreign
That's
guy.
not a
Like,
bad thing at all,
yeah,
actually. So then I want to see. I wonder if this because I really do want to play the New Zealand international. I
yeah,
wonder
yeah.
if he can
So you
open or
play
not.
him. You play him then.
But उसे open करा हो क्या करूँ फिर?
He's a top order bat, so yeah, you can open him.
Is he a top
Brett,
order bat?
you're talking. Oh, sorry, you're talking about Bevan or Brett?
Devin.
Oh, he's middle order bat. Yeah. So
And he, out of these guys, he's the one I have to have in the team because
okay,
he
so
just
yeah.
looks like the best player out of them
Okay,
all.
so yeah. So you
Um,
have him, then you have him in the middle order, and you open with. You could have Sharma opening, Nafe one down, whatever you want.
I'm okay with Harper. I'm okay even with going Brand at the top because he gives you that bowling option. I'm wondering who I would cut out of the team. But we can go. I guess we'll address that later. Um, so then I'm guessing you
Yeah,
had Ryan Russo at four.
Riley Rousseau at four. So again, I'll run
Mhm.
through it. Saud Shakil, Sam Harper, Shama Hussain, Riley Rousseau, Nafe, and Hassan
Mhm.
Nawaz was my top six.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
question mark with this top six is that no one can bowl except for Saud Shakil can roll his arm over, of course. So that's a question mark for them. But I think given, well, I think we've talked enough about Quetta without talking about like their biggest strength, which is their leg spinners. They have a Brar and Usman Tarek, which they've almost like gave a big FU to like the rest of the PSL teams by like retaining the two best leg spinners, which almost like
Uh,
and they also retained Faisal Akram initially, but then Multan traded for him. Thank God that he gets to
नहीं
play.
लोग confused भी होंगे ना. They'll think that these two are not to play, allowed to play together. ना तो जब when they roll up playing at the
Yeah.
same time तो confused. ये पाकिस्तान टीम होती या
पाकिस्तान का तो
इस्लामाबाद
लगता है
टीम
कि
में
नहीं
साथ
खेलते
में शायद
क्या.
नहीं खेलते लेकिन
Yeah.
luckily they're playing for Quetta so we can
They will absolutely
expect
play
them both to
together
play.
and they will be the because they're their biggest strengths. Like I think they've almost backed their leg spinner so much that their fast bowling is pretty weak in my opinion.
Right,
They don't
right.
have like I think they traded for Ahmed Daniel, which I think is good for Faisal
Amazing
Akram,
trade, bro.
which is really
Yeah.
good because they needed a Pakistani pacer and he can bat a
They
bit as
gave
well.
Arafat and they gave Faisal Akram, right?
Faisal Akram, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Arafat is the one that they might miss because they don't have like a all rounder in their team,
Yeah.
but like a spin bowling all rounder. But I think for Ahmed Daniel it made sense, and Faisal
You know,
Akram was not
Ahmed,
going to play.
just to word on him, bro, I think he's another guy who could have been in this past World Cup squad for
Mm.
Pakistan as well. His numbers are not overwhelming, but in the last year or so, he's been really good. He single-handedly won them the Emerging Asia Cup. Um, he's got pace. He played well when he got to play for Pakistan. A good athlete. And he bats pretty well as well. So I think
Yeah.
he's a guy to watch out for here. A guy who can bowl those
Yeah.
endovers.
For sure. I think, well, yeah, like just going back to spinners because their spin attack is so strong. It'll just be like how the Pacers can supplement that with them. I think that's where like I think Quetta are lacking a little bit because even their foreign base bowlers, like I said, Tom Curran, Alzari Joseph, are not like the strongest. And then their local pacers are unproven, so they have like emerging guys who have not really played a lot before. So I'm interested to see like how good they are. Like so Wasim Akram Jr. This guy's left arm pacer as well, bro. Sahi naam
Yeah,
ka Jr.
yeah, really not good.
And then they have Saqib Khan, who's a right arm pacer. Again, don't know much about him. And so Ahmed Daniel pe bahut hoga. That's why I've saved like a foreign slot for a pacer and I've played Tom Curran there instead.
Yeah, so for me, it was between him and Alzari, and I just went with who I thought was the better bowler because I thought that was more important at that slot.
Okay.
Um, but you were
So
saying Tom
I guess
Curran would
we
maybe
can
go for
play.
them right
I mean,
now.
that's like just personal preference, right? So you could play either of them. How
Either
would
of
you
them
rate
can play
their
there.
overall base attack, and who do you have at like 7 and 8 then?
Yeah, see, so now I'm kind of considering what you were saying to move Nafe down and to play Brett Hampton as my fourth overseas and open or Simon, one of those two. I would maybe lean towards Brett because he bowls, but Simon is fine as well. Um, but then I had Jahandad at seven.
Yeah, I had John Dodd 7 as well,
Yeah,
and then yeah, John Dodd at 7, and then Ahmed Daniel at 8. I realized that
yeah.
I initially like didn't have four foreign players, so we'll have to see where that comes in. But yeah, I think we've talked about all their foreign players. How do you rate their squad like overall?
You know,
It's
it's
hard to say, right? Because I think they have good players, but I think they might just be on the cusp of like. Mm, again, I really like the fact that they have like some of the most exciting young Pakistani batsmen in
yeah,
Nafi, Nawaz, and Shamil Hussain. So, but again, a lot will depend on. I think Nafi and Nawaz really need to have excellent seasons for Quetta to do well, and then obviously
yeah,
Abrar and Usman Tariq as well. Because I think they're
yeah,
in picking these guys, they've left their top order and their pace bowling a little weak,
yeah.
which might cost them ultimately.
I actually think this year, bro, obviously those two that you were saying, I think Saud Shakil holds one of the keys for them as well this year. Because with their batting going back to being as thin as it was year before last, and him having the ability to actually play well on these wickets
Mm,
while being consistent, I think he needs to, you know, get rid of last season. It's
yeah,
done. And if he can kind of lead from the front up top,
yeah,
because the thing with Hassan Nawaz and Khwaja Nafi, bro, they're super talented, but neither of them are reliable at the end of the day at this stage, right?
yeah,
So then that, and you're playing with Shamil as well, who's new, so you're gonna need a lot of lifting, I think, from Saud and Riley this season.
yeah, fair.
And obviously one of those, and I think I
But I'm
agree
I'm
with you. I'll
hoping
move
to see
Nafi
those
down
guys
the order,
have
and
like
I'll
that
have maybe
season.
Shamil open. Sorry.
I'm saying I'm hoping to see like both Nafi and Nawaz have that season,
Yes, bro,
um,
for
for
sure.
for for sure. And I think Hassan
Now
Nawaz, a
that
bit
you
on
mentioned
him.
if I do
I
move
think
the other
like
corner in, I'll just I'll move Shamil to maybe open or I'll refigure the batting so Khwaja bats a bit lower then
okay,
kind of serve the
yeah.
bigger
I
purpose.
think
But
I
no,
wanted to say
the
Hassan
bowling looks super
Nawaz.
good. I think they're a fast bowler like
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I just want to talk about Hassan Nawaz for a second because I thought that
mm,
him and Nafi was almost like a sliding doors moment where like Nafi probably didn't do enough to get into the Pakistan team and Nawaz was almost like discarded like too early when you said you were going to back
yeah,
him consistently. So um, Hassan Nawaz probably deserved to go more than Nafi,
yeah.
but I think looking ahead, maybe Nafi is going to be like more likely to be in the team. But I think both of them should be like a core part of like our plans at least, if not like
Continue going forward.
the
I mean,
ultimate
it's
squad.
frustrating, right? Because look, Nawaz again, he did have 8, 9 games in a row where he didn't perform,
Yeah.
and that's a reality. But at the same time, if you're at like a severe dearth of something in your system, which right now is the middle order batter. those are the
Mm.
guys who you have to back more, especially when you've gotten someone who is number one, prove that he has quality to perform internationally,
Yeah.
right? At that number. Two, was the best batter in the PSL last year. And three, wasn't even a middle order batter last time this year.
Yeah.
He was adjusted there and did a great job, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody deserved any type of leeway, it was him.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, we have to think a bit more with these things, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Okay.